If you're reading through Exodus in the Creed study, you know that it's interesting that you've got this mighty, arrogant leader like Pharaoh who refuses to do what God asks him to do. Yet at the same time, every time God sends a plague, Pharaoh begs for mercy. That there is a sense in which he knows he is being overpowered. There's a sense in which he knows that he is not going to win. God had set forth his purposes, and that was, I am going to bring my people out of slavery. He told Abraham that in Genesis chapter 15. He's accomplishing that in the early chapters of the book of Exodus. And so far, with multiple plagues, he is doing what he says he's going to do. And then in Exodus chapter 8, verse 31, it says this, "And the Lord said to him, as the Lord did as Moses asked, and he removed the swarms of flies from Pharaoh and from his servants and from his people. Not one remained. But Pharaoh hardened his heart this time also, and did not let the people go." You've got this interesting series of God hardening Pharaoh's heart, Pharaoh hardening his own heart, and then sometimes the text just says, and Pharaoh's heart was hardened. The truth of the matter is that everyone comes into this world hardened against the things of God, and therefore the name of Christ is a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense to them. Or even Corinthians would say that the word of the cross is foolishness to them. But God, in His great mercy and grace, has a way of softening us. Now, although you don't see that softening happening with Pharaoh, you do see it happening in our day. And God softens hearts through the proclamation of His gospel. And as we continue to announce over and over and over the greatness of all that God has accomplished, we see God by His Spirit drawing people in. Because God told us in the book of John that we can't come to Him unless He draws us in. Well, in this particular passage, rather than God drawing Pharaoh in, He is pushing Pharaoh out as he seeks to accomplish His purposes through the plagues. Here's what you need to know from this passage today, that one way or another, God is going to accomplish His purposes on this earth. We can either join Him through faith, or we can rebel against Him through hardened hearts.